Once upon a time, on a fatal night, someone crept into a mysterious cave. With the help of magic and a stable internet connection, that someone contacted the tech-savvy evil dungeon lord. But then, one of the absent evil dungeon lord servants took the call when suddenly... the mysterious person once again tried to reach the far-off evil. A short time later, the deed was done. The persuasive evil had won her over to its side and its dark deeds. She took her place as the expansion planning evil's right hand. Dungeons 3 Fall 2017. Once upon a time, on a fatal night, someone crept into a mysterious cave. With the help of magic and a stable internet connection, that someone contacted the tech-savvy evil dungeon lord. But then... one of the absent evil dungeon lord servants took the call when suddenly... the mysterious person once again tried to reach the far-off evil. A short time later, the deed was done. The persuasive evil had won her over to its side and its dark deeds. She took her place as the expansion planning evil's right hand. Dungeons 3 Fall 2017.
Okay, I think this will be enough for a trailer. Greetings and salutations, everybody. Welcome to Invisible Let's Play the project. I'm your host, Invisible, and today we shall be continuing on with our poll winner project, the trilogy of Dungeons. We already finished Dungeons 1 and 2 before we started with Ghostwire Tokyo. Today, we shall be continuing on with Dungeons 3. Before we start, I'd like to pass all of my praise and credit for everyone from the free YouTube Friends Discord server, alongside with the best of the Altered members. by name. Peace be upon Tentastruck Gaming, B809 Gaming, Lux Bar, Marcus, Dr. Crash, Mike Icy, Rogue Agent Jordan, Cryfield, CPTV 123, Matthew Elvin 21, Sagarda Crew 85, FRL, Masterplan Gaming, and Top Express. Also, peace be upon all my ultimate beasts, the beasts of loyalty, my subscribers, followers, fans, and friends. Marcos, Rogue Agent Jordan, CPTV 123, FRL, and Cryfield. Without further ado, let's start the game. Dungeons 3. Let's play. I have tested the game. It hopefully works, but I'd better not put too much here. Can't get too much in here. Let's get moving.
The shadow of absolute evil. The shadow of absolute evil had crossed the sea and now sought the chosen target, a dark elf named Talia.
Let's play.
A long, long time ago, the absolute evil had, in the famous predecessor to this game, subjugated the known world and defeated good. Now, in a world full of blackness and despair, it spent its days sipping cocktails from the skulls of its enemies and forging new plans over a grilled unicorn kebab. Unfortunately, there wasn't much left to forge. A few orc wedges, the occasional trick played on the little snots. There just wasn't anything left to conquer. As the weeks and months passed, the absolute evil grew ever more reticent and seclusive. From time to time, one could hear a slight murmur from the depressed evil's secret laboratory in the depths of the dungeon. Its creatures grew more worried with each passing day, and even started to miss its ingenious evil tricks. It was a somewhat confusing time for them. No beatings, no torture, and no being sent to a senseless death. On the other hand, it was a rather nice change. Eons passed, and the unicorn supply dwindled until suddenly, one wonderful day, the evil genius Evil joyfully burst from its secret laboratory. It finally had a new goal. An unknown continent, as often found in sequels, lay to the east, sheltered from the wicked evil by naught but a puny little ocean. It immediately had a fleet built. This was so powerful that it covered the horizon from north to south and was manned by the best and most powerful creatures at the devious evil's command. The fleet set sail for the crossing to this new continent, left the harbor, and sank. Yet that mattered naught to the couldn't give a hoot about its minions evil. It instructed its goblins and little snots to design an even more powerful fleet. These new ships were gigantic. Loaded with devious evil's second-best creatures, the fleet set out. And that sank as well. The annoyed evil saved his relentless anger towards the shipbuilders for later. Obviously, it would have to take care of the matter itself. With a sigh, it cast a spell and created a shadow of itself, a creature of absolute darkness and evilness. This shadow flew across the water towards the east. There, it would find a vessel, a corruptible being that would subjugate this land in the name of evil, and the shadow had the perfect target in mind.
Okay, go on.
great paladin Tanos, hero of the totally Eastern Kingdoms and a repugnantly good fellow. He was visiting the fatiguing library in Twistram with his comrades to see his foster daughter Talia.
Well now, Talia, tell me about your studies. Are you making progress with the writings of the ancient sages?
Yes, dear father, I have thoroughly digested it and have come a step closer to the good. The desire within me to do evil is defeated.
Really? Excellent! I am proud of you, my child. Continue to concentrate on your studies. I must go to Stormbreeze to clear up a few matters. I'll be back soon. In the meantime, my loyal friend Grimly will protect the country. Should anything trouble you, you can turn to him. Isn't that right, Grimly?
Aye, of course, Tanos. I'll keep an eye on the damned elf. Your daughter. You can count on me.
Then I'll see you soon, my friends. May the goddess watch over you, and the light burn eternally.
Bon voyage, dear father. I'll make you so proud of me. Who does good is good.
Yuck. Disgusting phrases like that always leave such a nasty taste in my mouth. These abnormally good heroes, on the other hand, had no inkling of the malignity gathered to the south. One moment a herd of sheep was peacefully grazing, and the next moment, whoomph! With a fulminant explosive effect that ate up half our special effects budget, the Shadow entered the world. His target, a dark elf caught between good and evil, was very close. As the shadow of the unspeakably evil moved through the world, all around it died. Plants withered. Animals perished. Sort of like a picnic with my family.
Yes, the game breaks the fourth wall constantly, and it knows how silly it is, so get used to hearing lots of inside jokes.
The shadow of the far-off evil found itself very, very close to Twistram. It could practically feel its target's presence.
Take these lanterns, men, and let the light of the goddess shine. For the night is dark and full of terrors. And there's a pile of horse poo around here somewhere. I trod in it earlier. For the darkness! I mean, for the light! Sorry, I'm still in training.
Yes, well, that is somewhat suboptimal. Naturally, the shadow of the almighty evil was an incredibly powerful creature, but, well, light was a bit of an issue. It would certainly be wise to stay out of the lantern light.
Okay? Will do. Obviously, this is Talia, Thanos' daughter somehow. I'm a human, adopted an elf, a drow adult, and I believe since elves anyway can outlive the humans, it's just normal. Eons upon eons to pass.
Lanterns! Lanterns everywhere! Lanterns! You'd think some nutcase hung them all over the place just to be irritating. I'm supposed to be the evil one here. Whatever. The shadow of the nestled cozily before the fireplace evil was extremely sensitive to light and would inevitably take damage from it. It was important to avoid light as much as possible.
Understood. Only that, but this human Thanos has a friend that is a dwarf, the elf's worst possible enemy. So it's obviously an inside joke all over. According to the silly adaptations from Dungeons and Dragons, by nature drow are evil.
The shadow reached the entrance to Twistram. Fortunately, this one was not closed, but it was brightly lit. Luckily, there was an unfortunate guard on patrol that the shadow was able to possess, thanks to its incredible powers. As long as it wasn't in the light. The shadow of absolute evil melded with the guard and took control of his body. Thus, it was able to pass through the gate with ease.
What was that? I think there was something wrong with that last beer.
Unfortunately, the shadow's possession only lasted a short while before the guard was able to free himself. Still, it was long enough to get past the gate. The shadow's target was close, so close. Talia, the Dark Elf. Soon she would fight on the side of evil.
May the goddess be with you, my friends. It will soon be time to open the orphanage in the fatiguing library. Come to the big square and join in the festivities.
Well, I don't know.
I had actually kind of planned to spend the evening in the bathhouse.
Friends, this orphanage is very important to my father. Tanos, you know, the mighty paladin, the one you really don't want to offend.
Yeah, all right, we'd love to come.
Excellent! May the light of the goddess shine upon you, and let us experience this exhilarating spectacle in the big square together. Follow me, my friends, for evil, the light, I mean. Keep the light burning bright, for the night is dark and full of terriers, or errors, or something like that.
For the stairs. Yeah. And yes, she's dressed in a Chana dress because she's a priestess. And the priestess class should be dressed in a very light and tight dress for some reason. So it's just natural for her to be this way. Talia is a drow, so by nature, she has inside her heart a core of complete evil.
Stop holding the lantern in my face like that, boy. I am Grimly, king of the dwarves, and I am used to the cold, dark tunnels under the mountains. I have no need of any stupid lamp shining into me eyes. Now I'm stuck with that damn pointy-eared... I mean, my good friend Tanos' foster daughter. Curse him. A dark elf is a dark elf, and nothing will change that. The girl will always be tainted. Should have cut her ears off when I had the chance.
Looks like Gremlin has an ear fetish. Because he cannot let go of Talia's ears. For some reason.
Enough chit-chat, men. You stay here and secure the area. I have to go check my invention. Stay alert. I can feel something evil lurking in the area. And it's not just that damn pointy-eared... I mean, that elf.
After this cliched monologue, Grimly disappeared into the darkness. The impatient evil shadow set off again.
You keep calling her damned pointy ears. She's an elf, what were you expecting? Also, Tanos sounds like a blackmailer.
In the distance, one could hear the unbearably good bells of a church. They must be marking the opening of the orphanage in the fatiguing library. Heroes, with lanterns, began to stream in that direction. The crossing on a red signal evil shadow swore, or would have if it had a mouth, and tried to avoid the lanterns as much as possible.
Gathered here to open this orphanage library for our goddess, and in the name of my father Tanos, I'm glad to see so many of you here of your own free will.
Have lots of priestesses. some warriors, some other warriors.
Finally, the time had come, and the shadow of the passes in the Slow Lane Evil was within range of Talia, the Dark Elf. The time had come for it to use its incredible powers to possess her for a short time.
So you're going to add anything to that speech?
I am happy to see us all gathered here today to open the orphanage here in the Fatiguing Library in the name of all that is evil. I mean, in the name of the light. This place will in future be a beacon of our kind-heartedness and our bloodthirst. I mean, our humanity.
You don't have to fight anymore, Talia. By the way, the dress white and gold looks not bad on you, but I believe that I have a better taste.
My dear father would be very proud were he with us today. He would be overjoyed to see us give the young and the needy a place to live and thrive. That's why I'm happy to take this orphanage and destroy it utterly, and all of you with it.
What did she say?
Die!
And she's out of her mind completely. I can see that green circle around you.
I feel the power within me. Oh, it's over 9,000!
Unimagined powers surfaced in Talia, the black magic of the Dark Elves. She immediately began to unleash these powers of chaos upon the world. The Dark Elf raged through Twistrum's inexperienced guards. She thereby built up a tremendous inner energy, which she released into the world as a focus beam, while screaming, Kamehameha! Meanwhile, in the Fatiguing Library, they waited eagerly with coffee and cake for Talia to show up and open the new orphanage. The energy beam hit the cake with a resounding zap and reduced it to ashes. Oh yes, and the rest of the building and everyone inside it as well. The narcissistic evil patted itself on the shoulder for this. Or it would have, but the metal armor always made such a terrible clunking noise when it tried. But then again, that's what little snots are for. Obviously, the Dispatch Shadow had found a perfect vessel in the Dark Elf. Talia had already earned the title of Employee of the Month, with the utter destruction of the Fatiguing Library, as well as half of Twistrum. The destruction of an orphanage and the bombardment of innocent citizens with magic missiles immediately made her the minion-wasting evil's new favorite henchperson. Her evil deeds complete, Talia withdrew into the vaults beneath the ruins of the Fatiguing Library. There, between the slaughterhouse and Mad Archbishop Lazarus's apartments, she prepared to create something powerful in the name of the absolutely ultimately evil. A dungeon heart, the cornerstone of any dungeon's power. Far away, Paladin of Light and Talia's former mentor, Tanos, was on his way to the Empire's capital of Stormbreeze. Naive and trusting as he was whistling cheerfully to himself, with no inkling of his foster daughter's dark deeds. Though he was aware that as a Dark Elf, she always had a core of evil in her. He had hoped to defeat it through religious indoctrination with ancient mad writings. Well, old bean, you thought wrong.
There goes level 1.
Twistrum in ruins. Talia, the Dark Elf, had turned to evil and laid the Fatiguing Library in ruins. Now she began to build a small power base in its vaults, her first dungeon.
These are the levels. This is how you, these arrows are how you navigate from them. Those are your main requirements to win the level, like achievements. Your rooms and the creatures are what you will get during the level itself, so that you can get done with it. Play.
Twistram looked like the leftovers from a heavy metal concert.
What? What have I done? Oh no! I've fallen to evil again. Father will be beside himself. He was right when he said, you either die a hero or you live long enough to see yourself become the villain. Although, in a way, it was fun to be evil. Burning things, pillaging, and showing those nasty goody two-shoes where the hammer hangs. They just look down at me anyway. My revenge will be terrible.
While Tanya was delivering a typical villainous monologue, something happened around her. From the depths arose a pulsating crystal, filled with the magic-savvy evil's power. A dungeon heart. Not to be confused with those dungeon hearts from other games. We don't want to be sued again.
Hello, greetings. What seems to be your boggle?
Secret mental messages were exchanged between Talia and the mentally savvy evil's crystal. We could explain this in detail at this point, but that would require a 3-hour monologue on my part, and I am definitely not being paid enough for that.
Right then. I will make these people suffer for mocking me. Father's henchmen never liked me anyway, and always insulted me, calling me pointy-eared. It's time for my well-deserved revenge!
The game logic internalizing evil had given Talia an assignment. Out there on the surface were shamelessly good places in urgent need of destruction.
Nah, no problem. I'll take care of it. I and an evil army.
Naturally, the strategically well-versed evil did not send its new general into battle alone. A dungeon had to be built, and creatures hired to provide her with a powerful army. Of course, the sophisticatedly thinking evil already knew which way the wind blew in a dungeon. However, should it be hit by short-term memory loss, it could effortlessly look up things in the fabulous almanac.
Understood. So we begin officially our first ever level tutorial scheme. Now, unlike Dungeons 1, where you used to pick up pentagrams, place them down, and they little by little collect for you the monsters and your minions. Unlike Dungeon 2,
The grandiose evil's helpers had not been idle. Well, they hadn't exhausted themselves either, but anyway, there were now some research projects the researching evil could pursue. The new improved research menu, TM, was now available. The new improved research menu, TM, opened and gave an overview of currently available technologies. At the moment, the selection was still limited, but that would change. After all, this evil crusade had only just begun.
in Dungeons 2, you used to place some space for your chambers, and then dictate every chamber what its job was, and then according to that job, you usually
Your snots have dug out a room.
chose what unit to select. Well, not in this game. You see, in Dungeons 3, you will start instantly by your research menu. You have heard a horde. Select one of the... basically the spawner of the minions. For the horde, it's the hideout. Also, you better quickly invest in some slots because this game requires lots of them. Also, we'll need to invest some of the for the gobbler farm Because your creatures would love so much to eat as soon as possible. Here are some tips for playing this game early on. Get as many little nuts as possible instantly. The faster you can collect them, the better. This is the room construction menu. This is the trap and doors construction menu. This is the creature menu. This is the army menu. This is the spell menu, and this is the resource menu. Once you have bought a room like this, it will end up here, and you'll need to spend some gold to build it. The golden number for your army is 12. 12 creatures per room. One unit requires 4 squares. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12 is your golden number. However, since this is the first ever level and you only have the horde,
It's payday.
just fill it. Very good. Also, this game has its own resources. You have here the gold right now, currently. Other resources we will be introduced to them in time, so no need to be too hasty about it. This is Talia, or General. Hello. Talia is a drow, a dark elf. She is dark. She has tanned skin normally, silver hair, and red eyes. She is a priestess class, sorceress. Her element of fight is fire. She can be upgraded in here, but she doesn't only need the gold, but also needs another type of resources as well. Currently, let's buy some more food here. Go to our farm, 500 gold. I'm going to place it here. Need lots of more slots. This is not enough yet. Slots means we need more gold. We have here 3 current types of currencies: the gold, the mana, and evilness. In Dungeons 1, you gained evilness, or rather, you didn't have evilness, but rather prestige and population by decoring the hell out of your dungeon. In Dungeons 2, you used to gain evil by doing some interesting stuff in the overworld. Sadly, that was very much restrictive. Lastly, in Dungeons 3, you will have, I hope, easier time dealing with this problem. Anyway, once you have bought a hideout or a spawner for your monsters from these areas, 3 areas, the horde, the demons, and the undead, yeah, but this time have the 3 factions with your side. Obviously, like, they couldn't have given you any more newer factions. Anyway, you go here, creatures tab, and you start collecting your creatures. You have now the goblins and the orcs. Goblins are your assassins. Orcs are your main damage dealers. Each faction will have 4 units. Okay? So yeah, some specific units were cut from the previous games. Just deal with it, I think. 1 goblin costs 250. An orc needs 300. Excuse me. So 1, 2 for now. Yeah, you no longer need to press on the dungeon heart itself to summon them. You just summon them instantly, and beds for them are constructed. At the moment, we need some firepower. As in, we need some units to take on damage for us. Talia as the general is strong by herself. The problem is she's not invincible. What will happen if the general dies? Who knows? She has hit points as is. Also, something else about this game. This tab, the army. You see your characters here, either in the display in this very complicated summary, or with this more information. Sort them via the speed, hit points, and attack power. You have Talia. Press the I to go to her. You have Jikax, Raz, Mokragag, Zagis, and Oberg. The thing about this game is, if you don't like a name, just left click this and rewrite it. Even Talia herself can have her name changed, if you wish. Nobody will care about it. As long as you have one of these flags clicked, the faction will be shown to you. We have the Horde faction, we have the Demons faction, we have the Undead faction, and so lastly we have the Converted Heroes, which we will be visiting later. Also, we have here the Little Snuts faction if you wish, but it is by default ignored. For now, we need to make sure that the dungeon is built nicely. Unlike the first game where your creatures just were summoned and were conquered by you, and unlike the second game where each faction needed its own kind of resource, the Horde needed the beer, the Demons needed admiration, and the Undead needed the last resting place where they wash themselves. This game has the Gobblers for food, and that's it for now. Little by little, guys. So how do you gain more units? I mean, 5 for the army is a disaster, frankly speaking. Also, we need more
It's payday.
little snuts. So, go to this area, the more creatures icon, and press pay them 250. And now we need evilness to continue on. Now we have 7. The little snuts pay 500, 500, and now you have 3 more little snuts, making the total of 8. How do you play this game the most possible optimized way? From the very moment you start the game, try your best to get the Gobbler Farm, the Hideout, the Nagas, and the biggest possible number of little slots ASAP. I'm again spitting at my keyboard. I'll have to what up later. But what is this? This is improving infinitely. Every single time you purchase here, you will get spirit, energy, hit points, and damage. Multiplayer, you will get spell resistance and trap. Yes, this game has multiplayer, but nobody plays it anymore. Either way. Currently, I will have to gather some more little snuts to make them do our bidding. The more little snuts we have, the better. Also, we could go for a little expansion here, since we do need some more gold. Now we have 77 goblins at the very least. Very good. Try not to expand yourself too quickly, because inevitably you will find some traps lurking around. This game is about waiting and development little by little. So now that we have built ourselves some spores here, and now remember very quickly, F1 is for summoning Talia alone. Hi. F2 is for summoning all the creatures, including Talia. No longer do you need to go over here and spam right clicks. You can just go to the overworld map Right click here. Everyone is out. Which is awesome. Now we have 2 orcs and 2 goblins. Let's keep moving. Talia alone as the...
Blinding beams of light met the dauntless evil's creatures. They briefly squinted at the disgusting brightness. Finally, they grinned, satisfied. At last, they were able to carry the battle to the good people and were not limited to protecting themselves in a dungeon, as is the case with other representatives of the genre.
Follow me, sons of Rohan. I mean, my vicious hordes. Let's get these tree huggers and wimps.
Very good. Since Talia is your general, obviously she is stronger than the other units. And alone,
The armies of evil reached one of those disgustingly good places that had survived the destruction of Twistram. The ice-cold hand, I mean evil, would deal with it immediately.
since Talia is your general, she has more powers than normal units. And for that, she can take more punishment than the others. However, she is also a priestess and a sorceress. Thus, she is a glass cannon. You need to make sure she doesn't die. She has very strong area of effect attack. For dealing maximum damage against parties. She can take care of them. I need some more energy here.
Hasta la vista, baby.
The little town of Good was destroyed and turned into a hotbed of evilness. Cracks formed on the surface, and something, guess, evil rose from the depths. This evilness, in a practical spherical form, was the sweet lifeblood which flowed through the personified evil's veins. It stimulated the armies of evil and swelled their power. All this lofty blah blah without any impact on the game aside, it was another resource primarily or exclusively used for more powerful research. Delicious evilness flowed into the dungeon heart and filled it with power. New research was thus made available, which would help the dungeon to even greater power. The impatient evil immediately began to research something.
Instantly, get the Nagas.
The progress-addicted evil had unlocked some new research and immediately set about trying it out.
Yeah, what is going on here? I feel a disturbance in the force.
The deeds of the conspicuous evil and its henchmen had not gone unnoticed. As a matter of fact, even a blind man could see the destruction they left behind them. As idiotic heroes do, they sent out a small patrol to scout the area.
Move out, men. Have a look around and report back to me. While I would love to accompany you myself, I'm currently, teaching myself to play the ukulele.
It's payday.
Heroes, what about heroes? Let's on some Nagas. Quickly. Nagas are your party's main healer. They are the only healing unit in the game. Treat them carefully. Also, since we are now getting evilness, we can upgrade Talia, and also the size of our army.
By the goddess of light! What happened here? The whole city is in ruins. I drank a beer right over there just yesterday.
Well done. Have I mentioned how much I adore the plot twists about revenge? Because to me, revenge is the only existing justice. Karma is lovely. Sorry if I'm talking a little bit weirdy. Earlier today, I bit the inner side of my cheek. Keep moving. 100. Okay, zero. Talia.
I am even stronger!
One of you. Let's nuts. Throughout this game, the characters that I mostly like I include Talia, the Nagas, and some other more preferable in this as well. But my most liked character is Little Talia. First and foremost, because she is an elf. I am not a fan of humans. You see these areas here that are like an island shaped. These are literally named islands of energy. The goal is for you to capture as many as you can to gain as many evil points as you can.
The second island of the good was mercilessly overrun by the strategically savvy evil's hordes and turned into an evil island. Soon, more of that exquisite evilness would be bubbling to the surface. Excellent. Even better than in Dungeons 2. Not that I'm out to plug it or its fantastic add-on or anything. I'd never do that.
Honestly, Dungeons 2 had its own good sides, but also the system for the evilness inside it was a disaster.
Armies of evil here? Damn it all, how did that happen? Time to call out the heavy guns. Right, men, get ready to attack in waves. Excuse me, sir. Wouldn't it make more sense if we attacked all at once? Where's the fun in that? Wave after wave, that's a strategy for real men.
Thanks to the enemy's limited tactical finesse, their destruction was virtually unavoidable. So it was time to decorate for the victory celebration, to get the beer and hire the orc dancers. Okay, maybe not orcs. I shudder at the thought.
They're going to be child's play. Leave them to me. I mean, hold them back and let them hit you while I deal with them.
So now we have 2 islands of evil. I believe that every map will have 2 to 3 islands of evil, so that you can gain your own points for upgrades. Everyone is at full health very well. Let's get moving then. Obviously the enemies right now will be coming for us, so let's wait for them so that first we can get some more gold. Second, we can perhaps, if possible...
Oh, the studio burned down. And I was going to come here tonight for Pilates.
You must die.
If you couldn't tell by now, since Talia used to be a good priestess of the light, her element is fire, just like all the other heroes. Their element is fire. While currently I don't really know what kind of element we have here. But since last game, the Dungeons 2-1 had the element of ice, perhaps our element is also ice, I don't really know. Come back here, let's quickly get ourselves another source of gold quickly, because we need some resources. I hope the stream doesn't fail on me this time. Looks like YouTube doesn't like the Dungeons games because OBS sometimes likes to destroy my stream. Little by little. Right. Yeah. Keep moving. Dungeons 2's system, alongside with the evilness, was very much annoying. Seriously. Even though the game itself wasn't that bad, its system for upgrades was very much annoying. So this time you will gain evilness little by little, depending on how many islands of evil you have. And with that, can gain more upgrades rather often.
Hopefully no one has arachnophobia. A spider nest has been destroyed.
Ouch! Ouch!
And remember, F1 to hold Talia to your side.
For the absolute
Hi.
evil!
What's up, Talia? You doing well? Hi, General. Go. F2 to summon everyone. And so on. You want some laughter? There you go. Also, something about this game that is different than the others. Whenever you see in your minimap this symbol, the diamond, you have here infinite money. Basically, you will press here and you will make the biggest possible treasury you can have. Because once you find this one, there is no need for any other treasury at all. Quite literally. Also, unlike the other games, when you used to just build the rooms upon just pressing on them and spreading them instantly, and then populating them by yourself, this game took from War for the Overworld game trends, and now your little snots will make the games by somehow just dancing on their tiles, and they will be taking care of all of the rooms per se. Here, destroy all of this so we can get some even more money. I have now over 1,000 of the evilness, which is very beautiful. Let's give ourselves a bigger... let's give Talia some power here. So what is...
Your energy grows stronger!
essentially about Talia's own development. Once you reach her level 4,
Queen of evil!
she's able now to summon her own shadows, so she can get herself taken care of by getting her own little party. Also about this one, we need some more minions so that they can also help us. We need evilness and gold both. And since we already have some more gold here that's lying around, we just need to collect
That
it.
Vinny's vegan cuisine? Oh well, no real loss there.
Guys,
Death to the...
done. Get back to your dungeon. Let's continue on quickly, gathering our forces. So this time, unlike in Dungeons 1, where you could have up to 45 units per map, you can gather all the pentagrams, I think. And unlike Dungeons 2, where your golden number was literally 12 for all of the factions one by one, you have now here your maximum number for increasing is 15. Once you reach 15 here, it's done, especially with the number of your overall army. Your army is made of population points 9 out of 13, skeleton packs 1, 4 per pack, zombie packs 1, 0 out of 1, 4 per pack, titans, something else we will discuss later, and converted heroes, also something we will discuss later, once we get the chance. Wage reduction. Give this to someone, anyone. Here is their food. Now we have 460 of them. We don't have any money. Why? Didn't we already? It's like because I forgot to tell them start digging here. Go ahead, start digging. We need some money. Also, since this is literally the first level in the game, we should not have too much of a trouble finishing it as quick as possible. We're just learning how to start the game. Talia, everybody, let's get moving. We have a world to conquer. So yes, I am having some M&Ms. Who cares? I need a steady level of sugar in my blood. Wow. First time for me to notice this detail. Ow. Always kill the healer first. Quickly before the heroes spawn again at our dungeon. Keep moving. No. Or...
There are enemies in your dungeon.
Hey, where does this lead? We should take a closer look.
The first heroes had discovered the not-so-well-hidden evil's dungeon and now entered its depths. Of course, the insidious evil had already prepared a despicable reception for them.
Done.
Even if that's not the case, I will kill these ridiculous do-gooders myself. They will pay for mocking me over the years. Wait a minute. What am I saying? Those are my friends. How can I plan their deaths?
Talia had chosen an extremely unfavorable time for moral doubts. Luckily, her evil dark elf heritage prevailed. Hey, Talia, you're evil, so act like it.
What? Oh, yeah, okay. Kill them all! We have conquered the last layer of good. Good is more or less destroyed. Ha! Good thing I switched sides.
In fact, the drooling evil had claimed all the evilness in these lands. Taking the rest of the camps would be a cakewalk, easy as stealing candy from a baby. Candy from a baby? Simple. My arse. Ever tried it? The screaming and crying and fetching their parents and family as reinforcements, and those little beasts bite pretty damn hard. Not that I have any personal experience, of course.
The ultimate, chaotic, absolute, whatever evil will be happy. I am. Father is gonna be so angry. Do you really know what you're doing? You wanted to be good. You had dedicated yourself to the light. Stop and really think about your deeds.
Can you please just stop with the Gollum thing? We already had too many Lord of the Rings gags in the last two games. Enough is enough.
Yeah, exactly. Just shut it, good me.
So yeah, Talia, for whatever reason, has a split personality disorder, according to the game's lore. Let's give you some more power, because power is beautiful.
I am even stronger.
Also, because you are literally the general, you should be strong. Also, yes, this is the novice, this is the priestess, the healer. Types of enemies are gunners for the dwarves and shielders. For the elves, we have the assassins and the archers. I think on the Manak. The gunners and the guards for the dwarves. Elves, we have the assassins and the rangers. Humans, we have the warriors and the mages and the priestesses. If you want to learn anything about them, just click here: gunner, bombarder, master gunner, guard, stone guard, and the throne guard, rogue. I believe all of the elves are females here. The thief, the assassin, warden. My favorite outfit because they have midriff, and I am a fan of it. Rangers, also quite good. For some reason, the Master Ranger suddenly decided to cover it all. You have also the warrior here, the veteran, the sword master, which is a disaster for us, the apprentice, the mage, the archmage. Funny enough, they call themselves mages, but the only spell they ever know is thunder, lightning, novice, priestess, and high priestess. These are the healers, which are our main enemies, if I wasn't clear enough yet. If you need to learn some more about the game and its settings, units and whatnot, just open this place here up and read it. According to the engagement statistics,
Ouch.
my videos Looks like
Stay down.
most of the viewers don't like it when I dedicate lots of time for reading, explaining, and the lore exploring. So I have decided that I will just try to play this game as fast as possible. Because nobody wishes to learn any background information about anything from the looks of it. After all, throughout Dungeons 1 and Dungeons 2, I did read a lot in the game descriptions. I just had to show my respect towards the one who writes down this information. In Ghostwire Tokyo, when I played the game for 100% of completion, I read every last item description, which most likely drove lots of people to sleep.
Talia and the destructive Evil's army had succeeded in destroying Twistram and the surrounding area. Good no longer existed in this land.
What the hell happened here?
Apparently, not quite all of the good guys were defeated. The Dwarven King Grimly, an old drinking buddy of Tanos the Paladin, was just touring the country with his exorbitantly large army to ensure everything was in order. Thank God the foresighted Evil had provided for this contingency. The Dungeon Heart was charged with evilness and enough energy to act as a teleporter. For Talia, of course.
Ooh, good. Then all the best, brave warriors, and stop them! Right! I'm out of here.
With a flop, Talia dissipated and disappeared to a faraway and safe place. The rest of the sacrificing Evil's creatures looked astonished as their general fled, but only for a moment, as they already found themselves facing an unpleasant army of good.
This is the work of that damn pointy-eared wench. I always warned Tanos that those miserable dark elves couldn't be trusted. Criminals, the lot of them. But enough is enough. Go to find that shifty witch and use her ears as bookmarks.
Gremlin, you truly have an elven ears fetish. Because you truly can never stop talking about Talia's ears. To me, I like her face. She's good looking. The hair color is always so nice. She's a drow, so her skin color normally is nice. The dress is quite good. I like China dress.
The Gehenna Stones. After leaving the vestiges of Tristram, Talia set out for the Gehenna Stones. They served as seals to keep the demons banished in hell, where Tanos himself had exiled them. Her so-called Foster Fathers Act would soon be undone.
Since I started this recording rather very late tonight, sorry, I'll have to cut the session shorter here. I'm not joking. I'm going to stop the recording for today at 1 hour and a little bit. We are dropping too many frames. We are suffering from some connection issues. And overall, I want to test out if you want to watch this kind of live stream or not. To begin with it. Also, this video for the trailer you watched as we were beginning will change from now on into something else. Let me show you what I'm talking about.
Once upon a time, on a fatal night, someone crept into a mysterious cave.
From this to this. You shall see it in the next time. So, the Absolute Evil, after conquering the world from the second game, decided it's time for himself to find a new world to conquer it again. And just like Barthas used to be our right hand in the Alzheimeric Prince in Dungeons 1, and was our general in Dungeons 2, Game of Winter. This time, our general and right hand is Talia, the Drow. Don't forget at all that Talia is just your general. All the creatures originally follow the Absolute Evil himself, not her. They only follow her and protect her because they were told to do so. Meaning, truthfully, Talia is powerless. Completely powerless. The narrator is back to joke around, and Dungeons series is finally back with us again. After the pause that took from us 1 month to finish with Ghostwire Tokyo with a PC. I hope you enjoyed the first ever second retake of the first video. If you liked it, I will be seeing you hopefully in the next session. That being said, peace be upon you all and take care. This has been with you, Invisible, from Invisible's Gaming Channel, striking at your hearts from the dark side of the moon. Sorry that my accent is not clear enough for most of you. I'm Canadian, not American. Also, it looks like I better visit CPTV right away because he began his own stream. So, peace be upon all of my subscribers, followers, fans, and friends, alongside with everyone from the free YouTube friends, Discord server, and the beasts of the altered empire. By name. I really better change the color of this right here. Because black and white is blinding. I cannot read anything. A moment, please. One moment. Right, blue, I don't do anything. So, violet, purple. Perhaps if I were to change a little bit more of the settings, maybe quickly, please. Background outline capacity, maybe. Yeah, this is much more readable now. So, Thunderstar Gaming, BH09 Gaming, Luxbar, Marcus, Nitro Crash, Mark IC, Rogue Agent Kerodan, Cryfield, CPTV123, Matthew Event 21, Slugger 85, Alfred, Masterplan Gaming, and Topic Cypress. Peace be upon you all. See you all in the next session of Dungeons 3, whenever that will be. Till next time, Invisible with you, sign out. See you upon you all. Take care. Good luck. Stay healthy. Stay safe. We are living in very hard times, so stick with your family and your relatives, because you never know what will happen in the nearby future if there is any to begin with it. Either way, take care and good luck. Good night.